Hello friends, you are on the World Insight channel, and today we will delve into the mysteries of space. In the previous video, we explored incredible facts about the universe, examined the mysteries that have yet to be unraveled, and absolutely undiscovered cosmic phenomena. If you are here for the first time, be sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss new releases. And also, don't forget to like it, because your support motivates you to create even more interesting content. Well, are you ready? Then let's get started. Enjoy watching. How did the universe come into being? There are many hypotheses and assumptions about the origin of the universe. However, no one has yet found reliable confirmation of any of them. So, more than one generation of people will probably struggle to solve this riddle. The theory of the Big Bang, put forward back in 1922, is the most popular in the scientific world, and is still considered the main official scientific theory by default. Its author is the Soviet geophysicist Alexander Friedman, who suggested that at the beginning, all existing matter was compressed into one point and had a dense, homogeneous environment, and at some point, the very Big Bang occurred, after which the continuous expansion of the universe began. However, this theory does not answer the question of what was before the Big Bang, because it is only one of the stages in an endless series of expansions and contractions of space. Physicists would find that it would happen in a chaotic order, while in practice an orderly process is observed. Where are the boundaries of the universe? Scientists believe that the universe is in the process of continuous growth. The famous American astronomer Edwin Hubble, back in the 20s of the last century, was able to discover blurry nebulae similar to ours. Later, he proved that there's a process of continuous removal of galaxies from each other, and the speed of movement is greater the farther the galaxy is located. Modern equipment has made it possible to establish the approximate age of the universe based on the light coming from distant frontiers. The diameter of the universe, which is 156 billion light-years, has been determined. For comparison, the size of our Milky Way galaxy is approximately 100,000 light-years. With further acceleration of the movement of galaxies, at some point their speed will exceed the speed of light, and it will no longer be possible to see them, since signal transmission will become impossible. Thus, in the future, if there is no breakthrough in space exploration technologies, it will not be possible to study even those objects that are located inside the universe. At the same time, everything that is beyond the scope of research, beyond the boundaries of the universe, remains completely unknown to us. Perhaps something will change in the future. What are black holes? Astronomers have known about the existence of so-called black holes for quite some time. However, real evidence of their existence in outer space has been obtained only in our time. The black hole itself cannot be seen. It is determined by the movement of interstellar gas and galaxies. Black holes have simply terrible gravity, due to which all the surrounding space and time is simply drawn in. Everything that falls beyond the so-called event horizon, including even light radiation, is forever drawn into itself by a black hole. According to scientists, at the center of our galaxy is one of the most massive black holes, the mass of which exceeds the Sun by millions of times. At the same time, the famous physicist Stephen Hawking believed that there may be super small black holes in the universe, which can be compared to a mountain of compacted mass. What happens during a supernova explosion? The death of a star is accompanied by an incredibly bright flash, the power of which can exceed the glow of a galaxy. This phenomenon is called a supernova. Astronomers believe that supernovae occur quite often. However, reliable and complete scientific information is available only for a few such cases. The maximum brightness of the flash is maintained for approximately 2 Earth days. However, even millennia after the explosion, its consequences can be observed. For example, it is believed that one of the most fascinating sights in the universe, called the Crab Nebula, is also the result of a supernova. In the theory of supernovae, it is too early to put an end to it. There are an extremely large number of points that remain unclear. Scientists believe that this phenomenon may manifest itself as a result of gravitational collapse or a thermonuclear explosion. A number of astronomers adhere to the opinion that new stars are created from the released chemical substances. Time is a relative quantity, and in different conditions it flows differently. Thus, there is a theory according to which for a person moving at high speed, time will flow more slowly. Therefore, if you send one of the two twins into space and leave the other on Earth, then after a while, the first one will be younger. At the same time, there is another theory according to which gravity leads to a slowdown of time. The stronger it is, the slower time flows. Accordingly, on Earth, time should pass more slowly than in orbit. This version is confirmed by GPS clocks installed on spacecraft, which lag behind by 7 nanoseconds per day. What is the Kuiper Belt? At the end of the last century, an asteroid belt was discovered beyond the orbit of Neptune, which was named the Kuiper Belt. Now, it has largely turned the generally accepted understanding of the solar system upside down. Thus, the discovery of Pluto deprived it of its planet status and transferred it to the category of planetoids. Under this name are hidden objects that were formed from gases accumulated in the most remote and cold region of the solar system, which remained during the formation of our system. Astronomers managed to count over 1,000 Kuiper Belt objects, among which are planetoids that are larger in size than Pluto. The Kuiper Belt, which is located at a distance of 47 astronomical units from the Sun, was initially perceived as the final border of our system. However, scientists are still discovering new and more distant objects. There is an assumption that the objects of the Kuiper Belt do not belong to the solar system at all, but are part of another system. Our video concludes with the fascinating mysteries of the universe that we have yet to unravel. Strange matter. It's hard to imagine that something with a name like strange matter could be terrifying. It seems that scientists came up with a temporary name when they couldn't determine what this substance was. They wanted to rename it later, but forgot. In essence, strange matter, which can contain many types of particles, is unlike anything we have seen before. As we know, ordinary matter consists of atoms with a nucleus that contains protons and neutrons, which in turn consist of quarks, which in their normal state are grouped together and give everything around us unique properties. However, in an extreme situation, quarks move freely, and it would seem that there are no limits or rules as to what they should do. This is a completely different type of matter, and it can change the properties of everything it touches, turning it into itself. Thus, a tiny piece of strange matter somewhere in the universe completely changes, in fact, destroys the very nature of matter around it. Fortunately, it has not been proven that strange matter exists somewhere in the universe. So for now, it only exists on paper, but unfortunately, very recently, scientists found something very similar to what, in their opinion, could be strange matter. The coldest place in the universe. The universe is a rather cold place, since the heat of the stars is enough to touch only a tiny part of it. We know it's cold there, but we don't know how cold. According to some scientists, the coldest place in the known universe is the Boomerang Nebula, a nebula that is a giant mass of gas and dust in space. It is so cold there, on average 272 degrees, that scientists have been trying to understand what exactly happened to this place some time ago. And according to a recent study, there is a good explanation. Apparently, the nebula was formed after one star crashed into another, larger star, which is going through the last stages of its life. Part of its substance was ejected in the form of a cold explosion. Despite the fact that we are currently far from danger, this is a place that should not be explored, even when humanity learns to travel between stars. The mystery of the largest black hole ever discovered. We understand, and that's good, because we can't know absolutely everything. However, it's really frustrating when we think we've figured something out, and then we realize that we don't know anything at all. This is the case with black holes, especially with one, the largest black hole of the early universe. It powers a huge quasar, known as SDSS J01 2802. It is as bright as 420 trillion suns, and of course the most massive quasar that scientists have ever discovered. We do not know how it was formed, because there was no way to become so large at an early stage of the universe. And this makes it the most mysterious black hole of all that we know. The triple collision of galaxies. Regardless of how boring our life is, we can console ourselves with the fact that something interesting is constantly happening in the universe. From large-scale light shows, this, of course, is far from a boring place. Some of these events, however, are so amazing that it is better to be bored here on Earth than to be somewhere near the epicenter of interesting things. One of them is the rare collision of three galaxies, similar to the one the world saw in 2007. Galaxies collide with each other more often than we think, but it is rare to see how three of them do it. What looks like just a clot of light in the photos are three massive clusters of stars that merge with each other and form stars at a high rate, about 200 solar masses per year in the center. A galaxy without dark matter. If you have ever been interested in astronomy, then you know for sure that the visible universe is only a tiny part of something much larger. Most of the matter in the galaxy is not visible, and it is called dark matter. It would be possible to come up with a more scientific name, but since we absolutely do not know anything about it, the most accurate way to describe it is as dark matter. We know that it permeates everything around us, and it makes up a huge space of the universe. However, even more mysterious is a galaxy without this substance. It was previously assumed that whatever dark matter is, the universe needs it to hold objects together. The galaxy described, along with other similar ones, proves that this is not at all necessary, which creates even more mysteries. Zombie stars. Everything that lives must die at some point. This applies to everything in the universe. The death of stars, as you probably remember from astronomy lessons, is one of the most interesting phenomena in the known universe. Every star that we see in the sky has either already gone out and its light has not yet reached us, or it will go out at some point in the future. Our sun is no exception. This is the natural order of things, except for cases when they decide not to do this. In rare cases, stars can die and come back to life as if nothing had happened, which confuses scientists. They recently discovered zombie stars that should have died at the supernova stage, but somehow survived. And now they rush through space with a renewed thirst for life and adventure. The nature of this phenomenon is unclear, so we hope that they will stay away from us. Gluttonous black holes. Of all the objects that could potentially become dangerous, a black hole seems to be the worst option. Black holes, as we all know, are super dense parts of space with incredibly high gravitational fields, so large that even light cannot overcome them. They absorb everything in their gravitational field, so it is worth staying away from them. And when it starts to move, it becomes problematic to do so. Like everything else in the universe, black holes can find their own trajectories of motion. In some cases, they start to move at a tremendous speed, devouring everything in their path. And this is by no means a hypothetical phenomenon. A black hole the size of Jupiter is currently rushing through the Milky Way. It was previously assumed that it was stationary, but now scientists have come to the conclusion that this supermassive black hole is moving. The mystery of a supermassive black hole. If we knew about all the incredible things that happen in our universe, our life might seem completely insignificant. Although some phenomena in the premiere demonstrate that we are all just insects. One of them is a supermassive black hole that flies out of its galaxy. This would require as much energy as in 100 million supernovas to throw it into space. And it is not at all ordinary. It is the largest moving black hole that scientists have ever registered. This energy was formed from the merger of two black holes in the center of the galaxy. Galactic cannibalism. Galactic cannibalism is the last type of cannibalism we want to hear about, although any other type is quite unpleasant. But the mere thought that there are larger galaxies that absorb others, smaller ones, and the likelihood that this could happen to us is quite creepy. Of course, there is no need to worry too much, as this will not happen in the near future. However, many other galaxies are currently being eaten by a larger one, just because there was nothing better to do that day. And it happens not so far from us. The Andromeda Nebula, a galaxy that probably everyone has heard of, actually absorbed a twin galaxy of the Milky Way about 2 billion years ago. It is expected that this will happen to the Milky Way in about 4.5 billion years. Judgment Day. Since ancient times, mankind has come up with many scenarios for the end of the world. Many cultures believe that this event will be very dramatic, and it would be great to see it for the sake of some cool visual effects. However, the most dangerous and plausible end-of-the-world scenarios come from the scientists themselves, and one of them is the one based on the Higgs boson. Some scientists believe that it may happen or is already happening. Everything will start with a change in the mass of the God particle, and therefore, the mass of everything else in the world will change. Accordingly, this will entail a change in all currently known physical laws and will lead to the impossibility of the existence of life in the form in which it is. The Big Bang, which once led to the formation of our universe, will destroy it a second time. Some scientists think that the changes have already begun, while others say that this threatens humanity in the very distant future. And we may go far in our development, or disappear completely before the elementary particle exerts its destructive effect. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click on the bell and select all notifications so you don't miss the release of new videos. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. Write in the comments what exactly you liked or surprised the most in this video. There are also many interesting and amazing videos on the channel. I will leave some of them in the tip so that you can watch them after this video. Feel free to click. There are even more interesting videos on the channel, and it was a pleasure for me to make this video for you. Until next time, bye.